Okay, we have angles of a polygon, lesson 1, chapter 11. The same thing here we did in lesson 4 in term 2. See, this is your term 2 book. That's your term 2 book, and this is lesson 4. So this lesson should be easy. I don't want to hear, oh, miss, oh, what, la. Vocabulary, you have to remember, okay? Very important vocabulary you have to remember. There, you should know by now what is a diagonal line, okay? When you're drawing diagonal lines, you have to, in a polygon, you can't cross them. So, if this is my polygon, I cannot draw this and then draw this, even though they are diagonal. La. They cannot cross. This is wrong. They must start from one corner. There. You go to the same corner you started, you go to another one. You cannot cross them. So the first, and you can't go there. You make triangles. So this is 1, 2, and the third one. 1, 2, and the third one. 1, 2, and the third one. Do you see that? Please do not cross them when you are told to draw. Okay? All right. So, you can see all of them, none are crossing. You can only draw diagonals on 4 and more sides. You cannot draw a diagonal here because there is no corner for this to go to. If you go here, it is in the middle. No, it has to go to the corner. And already all these are, and make a triangle. So already this is a triangle. You cannot draw a diagonal in a triangle. You can only draw a diagonal from quadrilateral all the way down. Okay? Let us remind ourselves, because I know some of you have forgotten. How many types of polygons? We have 2. 2 types, regular and irregular. Let's talk about the regular polygon. All sides are the same. All sides are congruent. All interior angles are congruent. All exterior angles are congruent. Always are convex. Always. Convex means all the angles are outside, going outside. All. Let us describe this polygon. These are congruency marks. I don't mind doesn't look equal because I was just sketching. But because of these marks, I know it is regular. Because these marks mean all the sides are congruent. Now, how do I describe this polygon? It is a convex, regular, hexagon. Because it has 6 equal sides. Now, irregular polygons. All the sides are not congruent. Keyword there, not. All interior angles are not congruent. All exterior angles are not congruent. Sometimes convex or sometimes concave. So since I've already shown you a convex, a concave is when you have angles going inside. You can have 1 angle or 2 angles going inside or 3 angles. Okay? As long as you have something going inside your shape, concave. You learned this in science. Concave and convex, you learned in science when you're doing mirrors. Let us describe this polygon. This is a concave, irregular, hexagon, because the 6 sides are not congruent. That is how you describe this polygon. Okay, then you should know the names of the polygons. If I tell you I am a three-sided shape. What is my name? Triangle. I am a four-sided shape. Quadrilateral. I don't want to hear square. La. Quadrilateral. Use the correct vocabulary. A four-sided shape is a quadrilateral. 5, pentagon. 6, hexagon. You should know all these names. All. Did you hear me? Complete this table. Complete this table for tomorrow. That's what I said here. Complete this table with the appropriate name for the number of sides given. You should know all the names from 3 to 15. No excuse. I don't want an excuse. All right, we move on. When we have polygons, you should know how to find all interior angles, one interior angle, one exterior angle, all exterior angles. This is very important. You should know how to do. Now, when you're finding interior angle sum of a polygon, you must do this, whether it is a regular or irregular polygon. Whether the polygon is regular or irregular, you must do this if I ask you, what is the sum of this polygon? Okay? What is the sum of interior angles of this polygon? So, the sum of interior angles is given by the theorem. A theorem is just like a formula, like the Pythagorean theorem is a formula. So all I'm asking you is you give me the formula. So the theorem of polygon of interior angle sum is sum of interior angles equals the number of sides minus 2 brackets. Then I multiply by 180 degrees. Or you can write S equals to N minus 2 in brackets times 180. Okay? You need to know how to explain this theorem. This one. You need to know what it means. So, first, we count the number of sides in a polygon. Whatever polygon they gave you, you count the number of sides. Then you subtract 2 from the number of sides to give us the number of triangles in the polygon. The reason why we are subtracting 2 is because we want to find out how many triangles are in that polygon. Once we find the number of triangles in that polygon, so I wrote here, because in step 2 we found the number of triangles, we must multiply the number of triangles by 180 degrees because angles in a triangle add to 180 degrees. That's the reason why we multiply by 180, because n minus 2 gives us 180 degrees. So this means n minus 2. And you put it in bracket. That's what step 2 is. Okay? So I wrote here because in step 2, n minus 2, we found the number of triangles. We must multiply the number of triangles by 180 degrees because angles in a triangle add up to 180. Then if you do these 3 steps, if done correctly, will give us the sum of all interior angles, which is S in our formula, of any given polygon, whether it is regular or irregular. Okay? Now, we did an example. Find the sum of interior angles over 32 gone. It doesn't matter whether it's regular or irregular. This doesn't matter. So I do the formula. S equals n minus 2 times 180. My n is 32 because it says it's a 32 gone. So 32 minus 2 times 180 30 times 180, 3 times 18 is 54, and my 20, 5,400. Then I write my answer in a complete sentence. The sum of measures of the interior angles is 5,400 in a 32 gone. In a 32 gone polygon. Okay? Now here, they gave me an irregular polygon. So, it doesn't matter. And they told me to find x. So, I know my polygon has 4 sides. So, I will use the formula. My polygon has 4 sides. So, I will use the formula to find the sum of all these angles. So, I did that. 4 minus 2 times 180. It gave me 360. Now, they told me to find x. So I know angle A plus B plus C plus D should equal 360. So I wrote my formula. S equals A plus B plus C plus D. Then I wrote A is 5x, like that. Remember, this little box means 90. No one will remind you. So I wrote my equation. I put my friends together. 5x is friends with 2x. I moved it over here. 2x is positive. I took 2x with the sign. So I moved them there. I moved positive 90 and positive 72 over there. 5x and 2x, 7x. 90 plus 72, 162. 360. 162 and 360 are friends. 162 is positive. It has to move on the left. I will subtract it. Because it's positive, I do the opposite. This becomes 0 because of additive inverse. So this becomes 0 because of additive inverse. So when I subtract here, I got 198. I divided by 7 on both sides to get x. I found x to be this. I rounded my answer to the nearest hundredth. Leave it like that. To the nearest hundredth. Okay? And that is how I found x here in this question. Now, we continue. Find the interior angle measure of a regular. Keyword there is regular. Interior angle means 1. You should know that. There is no S. There is no S over here. It says interior angle. This means 1. It's not plural. So 1 angle. Now, 1 angle, this is what you should look for in the question. If you see 1 interior angle and you see the word regular, then you will do this. So, 1 interior angle, the formula is the S divided by N. How do you find S? N minus 2 times 180 over N. Now we continue. Find the measure of 1 keyword, 1 interior angle. You should see 1. You should see each. Okay? If you see these words, you should know I am talking about 1. Find the measure of 1 interior angle over 22-sided polygon that is regular. So, 1 interior angle, S over N, N minus 2, like that. N is 22. 22, so that's another key important fact that I need to know. So 22 minus 2 times 180. And then you do 22 minus 2 is 20 times 180. 2 times 18 is 36 with this 2 0. 3600. You divide. I rounded my answer to the nearest hundredth. And there is my answer. And I wrote it in a sentence. I told you, always answer in a complete sentence. 1 interior angle measure in a 22-sided polygon is 163.64 degrees. Okay? Now, the question will tell you, find the number of sides given an interior angle measure. If they tell you this, you can only do this if your polygon is regular. Only if it is regular. You cannot do this for irregular. La. Why? Because all angles are the same size. So, you have this question here. The measure of an interior angle of a polygon that is regular and means 1. Find the number of sides. That's what you want. Find the number of sides. Find the number of sides of this polygon. There is 2 methods. This one, Salama taught me, and I didn't forget, and this is easy for you to remember. You should know both. You should know both. Both of them are very easy. Okay? So, Salama told me I need to subtract 135 from 180. Okay? Because the exterior angle and the interior angle are supplementary. Okay? Because the exterior angle and the interior angle will always add up to 180 degrees. Okay. So I subtract, I need to find one exterior angle. So this is the exterior and this is the interior angle. So 180 minus the interior will give me the exterior. So 180 minus 135 is 45. After you get the exterior angle, you divide it by 360. So n is 360, divide 1 exterior angle. So 360 divide 45 gave us 8. Okay? Very easy. You minus from 180, the answer you get, you divide by 360, you get your n. Now, things you must know about n. N will never be negative. You get negative, you did something wrong. N will never be a decimal. You get a decimal, you did something wrong. N will never be less than 3. The smallest n is 3. Because the smallest polygon is a triangle. And a triangle is the only polygon with 3 sides. So when we start counting polygons, we start by 3. 3, 4, like that. We start from 3, not by 3. We start from 3. So 3-sided polygon, 4-sided polygon. There is no polygon with 2 sides. There is no polygon with 1 side. A polygon must have sides, so there is no polygon with 0 sides. Okay? So, or you can do this method. You can say 1 interior angle times n equals s. You can use this method. Then, the 1 interior angle from our question is 135. 135 times n is 135n. And then, n minus 2 in bracket in 180, you do distributive property. You multiply, like that. So, 180 times n, 180n, 180 times negative 2, negative 360. 135n is friends with 180n. 180n needs to go with 135. So you move it there. It is positive, you put negative. So you do minus 180 on both sides. Then you get negative 45. You divide both sides by negative 45, n is 8. Simple as that. So you choose, no, don't choose, no all. No method 1 and method 2. No choosing, no all. Okay, we finished that. Find, we are doing polygon exterior angle sum. You should know that the exterior angles of any polygon should add up to 360. Whether you're regular or irregular. If I add all the outside angles, 360. All polygons, whether they are regular or irregular, their exterior angles should add to 360. Very important. So now, I have this polygon over here. My angles are outside. You see inside here, there is nothing. There is no angles inside. So, my polygon was not labeled. So I put A, B, C, D, like that. If I start A here, I can go B, C, D, E. Or I can say A, B, C. Label them, but follow your letters, alphabetical. So they told me find X. and then I have also to check, and then they might tell me find the measure of each angle. Now, so I wrote my equation. Angle A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 360. How did I know? Because I have 5 angles. So angle A, I wrote 2x. Angle B, 5x. Angle C, like that. Like that. I followed my rule until I finished. I put friends together. My x's and my constants. So 2x plus 5x plus 2x plus 3x plus 6x, 18x. Negative 5 plus 10 minus 5 is 0. 18x minus 0, 18x. If you have 0, whether you add or subtract, your answer is the same. So it doesn't matter what you write there. So, because they are outside, we use 360. And then I divided both sides, I got 20 for x. Now I need to check. No, first, before I checked, I found each angle. 2x means 2 times x. What is my x? 20. 2 times 20, 40. Like that. I did 6 times 20 minus 5. 120 minus 5, 115. 3 times 20, 60. Plus 10, 70. Here, 2 times 20, 40 minus 5, 35. 5 times 20 is 100. Then I checked. 70, 35, 100, like that. I got 360. I knew my work was correct. And that is the end. Do Aleph. Tomorrow be prepared for my questions. Be prepared.